Every time I tell someone that I self-manage my own multifamily properties, I get the same response. They look at me like I've lost my mind and say, man, I could never do that. I don't want a second job. I don't want to be chained to my property. And look, I get it because the horror stories are everywhere. The landlord getting phone calls at 2 in the morning because a tenant clogged their toilet. The guy spending his Saturday afternoons patching drywall because some kid put a hole in it. Or the owner whose phone never stops buzzing with tenant drama. That's the picture people paint when they think about self-management, and it sounds miserable. But here's the truth most people miss. It's not self-managing that creates a nightmare. It's the lack of systems. When you don't have structure, you're at the mercy of chaos. And chaos will always make you feel like the property owns you instead of the other way around. But when you run your buildings with intention, when you put systems and tech in place that do the heavy lifting, self-managing actually gives you more freedom than hiring a property manager who doesn't care as much about the property as you do. Let's dig into this myth of being married to the building. The story most people believe is simple. If you self-manage, you'll never have a life. You'll be chained to the property, you won't be able to take a vacation, and your tenants will call you with every little thing. And you know what? If you just wing it, if you let tenants set the tone, if you don't have a clear way of handling rent, repairs, or communication, that's exactly how it feels. You're stuck. But here's the kicker. A property manager won't necessarily save you from that either. In fact, I've seen plenty of owners hand over the keys to a management company and still get dragged into the mess. The managers call them constantly for decisions. They take weeks to turn units, they miss leads, and at the end of the day, you're still stressed. Except now you're paying someone else 8 to 10% of your rent roll for that stress. So let's be clear, outsourcing doesn't guarantee freedom. What guarantees freedom is structure. That's the difference between running a business and being run by one. Think about what really makes landlords burn out. It's not the tenants themselves. It's not even the properties. It's the chaos that comes when nothing is organized. Rent comes in late and you don't have a process for how to handle it. So you stress about what to say, when to send a notice, how firm to be. Tenants start arguing with each other, and because there are no rules in place, you're suddenly dragged into being a referee. A tenant moves out and you don't have a set turnover plan. So 3 weeks go by before the place even is rent ready. And what I just described, that's what makes people feel like self-managing is a second job. It's not the act of managing. It's the constant decision fatigue that comes from having no playbook in place. But the good news is, when you build that structure, the stress drops by 90% because you're not making decisions in the moment. You already made them when you built the system. Now you're just following the playbook. And this is where the big shift happens. Self-managing doesn't mean doing everything yourself. It means running the property like an actual business, where the systems handle the day-to-day and you step in when needed. That's why I call it the freedom formula. Freedom doesn't come from throwing money at a property manager and hoping that they do a good job. It comes from building structure that actually gives you control, clarity, and peace of mind. With that in place, the property doesn't own you. You own it, and you run it on your terms. So let's talk about what that actually looks like in practice. The first piece is systems. When I say systems, I'm talking about having a process for every part of the property. What happens when rent is late? It's already decided. There's a step 1, step 2, step 3. What happens when a tenant submits a maintenance request? It's logged, it's routed, and it's tracked. Now, what happens when a new tenant moves in? There's a checklist that covers everything from keys to the welcome letter. This is how you stop operating from emotion. You're not guessing, you're not reacting. You're simply executing the plan. And that clarity is what takes the stress out of property management. Now, here's where it gets powerful. Systems alone are great, but if you're the one manually running every step, you just gave yourself another job. That's where technology comes in. Tech is what takes those systems and puts them on autopilot for you. Tenants don't call you at midnight because an AI bot answers their questions, logs their requests, and keeps them updated along the way. Rent doesn't get lost in the shuffle because online payments and rent reminders handle it automatically. Showings don't eat up your weekends because your scheduling calendar books, confirms, and reminds prospects without you lifting a finger. and your files don't get buried in a drawer because everything is stored in the cloud and accessible in seconds. This is why I can manage from anywhere, whether I'm at home, traveling, or sitting on a beach. The property is still running smoothly because the tech is running the systems. But there's still one more piece, and that's accountability. Because you can have great systems and great tech, but if no one follows them, you're right back in chaos. That's why we set expectations clearly with people from day one. For tenants, it's 4 simple rules. Pay your rent on time, don't fight with your neighbors, keep your place clean, and don't do anything illegal. That's it. It's simple, it's fair, and crystal clear. Follow them and you're gonna love living here. Break them and you're gonna hate us. For vendors, it's just as clear. Get the job done right, send proof of completion, and you'll get paid fast. Accountability is what keeps the machine running, so I'm not constantly policing behavior. Everyone knows the rules, everyone knows the consequences, and that creates order out of chaos. And if you want to see exactly how I built this, the systems, the tech stack, and the accountability tools I use, I'll send it to you. Just go over to Instagram and follow me, and then DM me the word Playbook. I'll send you my Freedom Formula Playbook so you can stop fearing self-management and start profiting from it. When you put this together, here's what happens. You're not answering 2 a.m. calls about nonsense. You're not chasing tenants down for rent. You're not babysitting neighbors who can't get along. And you're not stuck turning units for a week because no one knows the process. Instead, you've got a business that runs smoothly. Tenants feel cared for, vendors respect the structure, and you actually have more freedom because the property isn't running your life, you're running it. And here's something most landlords don't realize. Tenants actually like this better. Good tenants want to live somewhere where there's structure, clear rules, and quick response times. They don't want chaos any more than you do. That's why the tenants who follow the rules love living here. So let's put all this together. Self-managing is not a second job. Chaos is. When you set up systems, you eliminate guesswork. When you layer in tech, those systems run automatically. And when you enforce accountability, the whole thing stays on track. And that, my friends, is how you manage from anywhere without losing control. So here's the bottom line. Hiring a property manager doesn't guarantee your freedom, but building the right systems does. If you've been scared off from self-management because you think it means stress and headaches, I promise you, the real stress comes from winging it. The freedom comes from structure. And if you want my exact playbook to set this up, the systems, the tools, the accountability rules, just go over to Instagram, find me, and then follow me and shoot me a DM with the word Playbook. I'll send it to you so you can start managing smarter and not harder. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. I appreciate you. If you want, drop a comment below. Let me know if you put systems into place for your self-management or what your thoughts are about self-management. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave today and hit that notification bell because I try to drop 2 videos a week. So make sure that you subscribe and get notified every time your video drops.